Hi friends, welcome to day 83 of 100 Ways to Study Your Scriptures. I have something that I'm just always trying to study and learn more about, and I bet you do too. So I want to share today how I studied more about knowledge and how I can gain knowledge and how I can say something like, I know God lives. I have a knowledge of that. So I want to show you how I went about studying that today. Of course, I don't have all the answers, but I do feel like every day builds on the day before, and eventually I will gain that knowledge. So this is my little journal that I've been working in. Mostly I've been working with Come Follow Me, but right now I'm just working with the knowledge. So I made it cute today. Sometimes I do that. I was in the mood. So it's all cute here. And this was notes from state conference yesterday, and here's my knowledge section today. So what I did was, I talked about this a couple of days ago. I watched a video on Quick Media, and Greg Mattson talks on Quick Media, and he was talking about knowledge and how there are two types of knowledge. And so, I really honed in on that because I'm interested in it, and listened to what he had to say a few times and took notes. So I want to share those notes with you in case you're interested in gaining knowledge. He said that each of us, he thinks, has to go through some kind of spiritual trial of our testimonies, a trial of our faith, because that's the only way it grows. We have to look deep inside at some point and press ourselves as to what we really are going to rely on, and how we are going to live each day, in what type of faith system we are going to live. So he talks a lot about the faith and things, but the thing I really loved is everyone is going to have a trial of their testimony. That's how we learn. And there's many different kinds of trials, but that is something that we will all experience. But he talks about specifically knowledge. This was the part of the video that I was interested in. He said there's two types of knowledge. One is the knowledge of facts. You read something, you get some facts, you have a knowledge of facts. That's powerful, sure. But more powerful is your personal experience. The personal experience he found is stronger than anything he could read about. So here he's reading, he knows something, but his personal experience is the strongest. So I decided to take 3 principles of the gospel that I have implemented in my life, and that I actually have experimented with and tried out and found that, yeah, these are actually principles of the gospel. And I know things about them. So I chose scripture study, I chose service, and I chose tithing. And I asked myself, how have I felt as I have leaned on the Lord and applied these principles in my life? And I thought about that, and I just wrote a little thing, but you could really, this is just a short daily study, but I could go on and think of experiences in my life where I have found these things to be even more true. So anyway, I found that morning scripture study and service are 2 things that I know when I do these things, they give me energy. And I know all 3 of these things, when I do them, they give me peace of mind. They give me clarity. And that clarity, it will allow me to do the things that I want to do that are most important. Of course, you can go overboard. You can serve too much so that you don't have time to do those things. But when I keep these things in balance, I can carry on in my life with what is truly important. And I really like that. So I flipped through my Book of Mormon because I really liked this scripture. This is Ether chapter 12, verse 6. So here it is. And now I, Moroni, would speak somewhat concerning these things. I would show unto the world that faith is things which are hoped for and not seen. Wherefore, dispute not because ye see not, for ye receive no witness until after the trial of your faith. I really wanted to know what is the definition of faith and how can we know things? And I just felt like this scripture, which I had in my mind because I was in seminary when I was a teenager and because I taught seminary, so I knew this scripture. So I took a closer look at it. First thing I did was I wrote it out here in black. Maybe I should kind of lift this up a little bit so you can see better. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Here, let's just go like this. All right. So I took it apart. So Moroni is the person writing it. And Moroni had a lot of trials in his life. Like, everyone was gone and his civilization was gone. Like, that's a huge trial. So he definitely has had trials. And he would speak to us concerning these things. He wanted to show the world. So this is not just information for members of the church. I feel like this is information for everyone, that faith is things which are hoped for and not seen. That is the definition of faith. Things which are hoped for and not seen. It's not faith if we can see it. It has to be not seen. Wherefore dispute not. So don't bother disagreeing or arguing or debating about it, because ye see not. Like, you don't have to debate with others. You don't have to debate with yourself. You don't have to debate with your own testimony because you don't see it. You don't have to say, well, I don't want to pay my tithing because I don't know that that's going to, I just don't know. I don't know if that's something I should do. No. You're not going to know until you receive your witness after the trial of your faith. So your witness it's kind of like a sign that you're going to get after the trial of your faith. But the interesting thing is, once you've had the trial of your faith, you don't need a witness because you actually have a testimony. You actually have that experience of knowledge after the trial of your faith. And I found too, the trial of your faith, I was thinking, what could be trials of faith? Hardships can be trials of our faith. Do we have the faith to act on impressions? Do we have the faith to give up of our time and go do that service? Do we have the faith to pay our tithing when we don't have money? Do we have faith to do scripture study when we just are so tired and we'd rather go to sleep? And also, another trial of our faith can be doubt. Do we have the faith to carry on with our scripture study, with our service, with our tithing, even when we doubt it? So here's what I got out of this scripture. When I consistently exercise faith time and again, I will develop knowledge, that experience kind of knowledge that we talked about earlier. I will develop knowledge through my own personal experience. And here's some things I know. I know that service brings me energy. I know that paying tithing gives me peace of mind. And I know that scripture study builds my testimony. Those are things I know because I've done them. I can't see them. I can tell you this, and that's really interesting. There you have a little bit of a fact from my life. But I have personal experience. I have knowledge because I've done these things. So here we go back up to the top. Knowledge is something that I really am interested in studying, so I study it a lot. And here I am studying it today. So find that topic that you just want to know more about. And even though you've studied it a lot, you can still learn more about it. I know that is true, actually. You can learn more and more about it. So do that. And I hope you have a great day studying your scriptures. And I'll see you next time. Bye.